Welcome to Married AF. We are your hosts, Brooke and Randal Fowler. On this show, we discuss the topics that really matter.
Like big veiny cocks and our favorite TV shows.
So pull up a chair at our kitchen table and hang out.
While I bulldog my nuts.
Okay, now for real this time.
We're recording?
Now we are, yes.
We're going.
We are live.
Well, welcome to Married AF. We're back again. We are corona negative, I think.
Sure, why not? I mean, we don't...
Maybe. Maybe not, though. We're never going to tell you.
Who knows? We don't have any symptoms, and we're not
Rich.
elderly or rich or famous, so therefore no test for us, even if we show symptoms.
Yeah, we couldn't get a test if we wanted to here.
Nope.
So
they have a drive-through testing facility in Woodstock, which is a short drive away, but you got to have a referral from a doctor, and the doctors are only going to refer you if you're old.
Well, let's do this shot to Corona.
I don't have one. Oh.
Yeah, you do. This is to Corona.
To Corona. Fuck that bitch.
There you go. The Rona.
Cheers.
That was a special one.
Is that a Mascherona shot?
Yeah, but that was Powerade and vodka. Now I'm pouring us the real shot.
Oh, fuck me.
I'm making a mess.
Oh, my God, dude. Have you learned yet to bring a towel in here with you? You've got one nasty
measly little towel. Measly little
a
tissue.
Paper towel. Is that a Kleenex?
Well, it is not easy to pour moonshine out of a mason jar.
No, that's not a great, no. There's no, not messy way to pour that.
I don't know if I'm ready for this. This is Apple Pie Moonshine. Georgia Moon, goddamn.
Georgia Moon. This is what we attribute our dear son Gunner to.
Here is to
getting drunk off this.
Sexy time after we're done here in just a minute. Good day.
All right. Cheers.
Oh. Gasoline.
Oh, my God. My shot. Why was my shot so much bigger than yours? Oh, man.
Ooh-wee, buddy.
It's warm. But the burn is real. It's there. But the flavor is yummy.
It is because it's not strong apple. Like it's a perfect amount of appleness.
But the apple pie-ness of it, it kind of the warm burn it's there for sure. But that flavor makes it better. Man, that stuff's dangerous.
That looks like my pee after not drinking water.
That looks like a large urine sample in a mason jar, for sure.
Ooh, that was rough, though. Man, it's
no
hot.
wonder I got so drunk off that shit that night that we got pregnant.
Well, that night, you started drinking, it was very many shots of that.
Yeah.
It's good stuff, though. It's strong. The first one hit you in the right in the tits.
It tastes just like how those awesome, apple cinnamon candles smell.
Mm-hmm. And we've got one of those. No, it's burning downstairs. Or it's downstairs, the apple cinnamon.
Yeah. But
however, I want to give a shout out to BioBidet. We had neglected sponsors because there was no use in having them. However, BioBidet is back. They are back with a vengeance.
They're back in our good graces.
Been selling a lot of shitters lately. Thank you to Corona once again, obviously.
For some reason.
All of a sudden, we're selling shitters left and right. This toilet paper shortage is the shit. Literally.
No, I went and looked at the BioBidet website the other day, and the majority of them were still sold out, it looks like.
Yeah, it's rough times.
Which is crazy. It didn't even, when all this started and all the toilet paper shortage, I saw one post about, I need to go get a bidet. And I was like, what? Maybe we'll sell some bidets. And sure enough, we did. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Promo code Married AF.
Remember, biobidet.com.
That's BIOBIDET.
Yep.
Not buy a bidet, like Griffin has told everybody. Not buy a bidet. It's bio as in biology. Bidet. Promo code Mary.
Oh, sweet.
Save 10%.
Yep.
Hell, it's not worth the fight you got to do to get striking paper nowadays.
Hell no. You got to go to the grocery store when the truck is pulling up and wait at the door.
And fist fight.
Like you're waiting in communist Russia for a loaf of bread. because people will fucking fight you for that shit.
They for damn sure will. And
we're getting down to like our last, I don't know, 6 to 8 rolls. And I had the thought today, like, fuck, do I need to
checked today just because I knew we were probably could stand
Which, I mean,
roll.
that's still like,
plenty of time.
We have time, but I didn't want to get to where we don't have time.
Well, we got wipes too, baby wipes.
Yeah, we've got a bidet.
Yeah, and a bidet. We're golden.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put myself under the stress that people are choosing to put themselves under about toilet paper.
No.
It's killing people. They think people are dying from... No, they're dying from their toilet paper anxiety.
No, you know what I saw? Okay, so I made the mistake of downloading TikTok on my phone. I know that I'm way late to the game, but I'm 41. And I kind of understand why I didn't. It is a time suck. I could sit there and scroll through those videos for years. It is... I get sucked in way more than like Instagram, and for some reason,
tells me Uncle Randy should have a TikTok, but I don't have the capacity.
It's just another, But there was a video the other day on TikTok of like a guy acting like he was a doctor. He was like, "I'm sorry to tell you, but you've tested positive for COVID-19," and he was like, he was also the patient. So it cuts to him, and he's like, "It's not possible. I have so much toilet paper." And he's got like a lap full of toilet paper, like rolls and rolls. But for some reason, it made me laugh so hard. And I watched it like 12 times because his face, he was like, "It's not possible. I have so much toilet paper."
Well, speaking of making you laugh, I got to settle a beef right now that's brewing.
What?
On the internets of which is the better Corona song, Neil Diamond or "You Got Corona, Bitch," or "Bitch, you got coronavirus."
Okay.
Ooh, you
so
got coronavirus.
That's a good question because
the black guys win.
The black guys win because they made me laugh. Neil Diamond's is just genius.
Yeah.
Because he was like,
good musically.
"Hands, washing hands, don't touch me, I won't touch you." But so that's just like,
"Bitch, you got coronavirus."
What's it even called? That one.
I think it's "Bitch, You Got Coronavirus."
That's the name of the song.
I think so.
Whatever it is that you found and you shared it on our Facebook page, I laughed so, me and you both did. Like, and you played it about 20 times. And usually I'm like, "Oh my God, stop it." Like when you get on these kicks of something that you find on the internet and you play it over and over, and I'm like, it's not that funny. This one totally was. And every time you played it, and at the beginning when he goes, "Achoo."
And then he coughs. The sneeze and the cough.
But they're
Everything
like such fake cough and sneeze. And then they're just it's like 4 dudes just randomly dancing, nothing choreographed. They're like in their apartment building courtyard. One guy looks like
7 foot tall.
He's 7 foot tall. They're spraying Lysol all over the place.
Everywhere. Like spraying real cans.
They're wearing masks, but they're all doing their own dance moves, which are all like individually good, but just all over the place. One guy reminds me so much of the guy that I think he's not Ashy Larry, but he's the one guy on Dave Chappelle's show that always just busts through the scene, like doing the robot. Like he just reminds me of that guy. And the song just makes me laugh so hard because it says, "Ooh, bitch, you got coronavirus." "Ooh, shit, you got coronavirus."
It is catchy. I have sung it every day since at different points during the day.
Yes.
Randomly, I was like, I think I was driving this morning to go to the store, to the racetrack, and I was like, caught myself just singing it in my head. Just, "Ooh, bitch, you got coronavirus."
Same.
Ooh,
I mean, all day I'll hear somebody say coronavirus in a certain way, and I'll just in my head say, "Ooh, shit, you got coronavirus."
And it wouldn't work if they said COVID-19 or if they said, what does our governor say?
Oh, he
COVED?
says COVED.
It's
insane. If he said that one more goddamn time, and
Kemp.
Amanda had said, because I want to text her with her and Colleen, and she, during that press conference, I didn't see it till afterwards, but she said the same thing. She's like, "If Governor Kemp says COVID one more goddamn time."
Well, first off, he's the most dead, most boring.
Holy shit.
I mean, Jesus, I'd rather somebody I don't like or don't agree with anything they say politically, but at least be entertaining. He puts you to sleep. He can't even read good. He was reading his whole speech, and it was terrible.
He barely looked up. However, the guy that was doing the sign language in the background
Crunk.
was getting down. He looked like a skinny Santa Claus that was like, dude, he looked like he was a backup dancer in a rap video.
Throwing gang signs.
The way he was like, yeah, because he was signing.
He was stacking.
I swear to God, he made half that shit up. And one time he was doing like the finger in a circle where he was like, it looked like he was making the sign for fucking.
But the thumb goes like it's up an ass or a vagina.
Yeah. And he was making weird like facial expressions. And at one point it looked like he was going blah, 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 blah. So funny. I couldn't stop watching
They're the best part of any press conference because 99%, I'm certain all of them are full of shit. And they can't keep up exactly. So, they're throwing in.
No.
Like, I'm sure, I don't know how to sign, but that there's slang and signing as well.
Well, there was one point where he was reading off cities, right? Like he was just reading a list of cities in Georgia that had drive-through testing stations. And for those, he technically would have had to spell them all out. And it wasn't possible because he was like Woodstock, Canton. Yeah. But like he was listing cities so fast and it was probably about 20 of them. At one point I saw him kind of pause and he just kind of started doing something where it was probably like, bitch, read the transcript after this. Like, it's probably what he signed. Like, there's no way I'm going to fucking be able to sign all this.
Yeah, but so to settle that beef, in my opinion, all other song attempts don't come close to those two.
No,
those are the two, if we're going to say they're the Corona hits of the Corona time.
The anthems of the coronavirus.
But the black guys, to me, reign supreme. I don't think it's toppable. Everybody else, to me, is
we need to really,
posing.
I need to find the name of the, so that you're not just saying those guys that we posted their video.
No, I want to know if they're a group. I want them on the show. I'm a fan.
Oh my God.
I love how funny it is.
And it was quick. I mean, this was
very quick, within minutes of the outbreak.
Yeah, this was like this weekend, I think that.
They got it quick.
Yeah. Or was it last week or this week? But it was, yeah, it was good
I
stuff.
don't know. I'm willing to bet. I have no idea. I'm going to say they're either from Birmingham or New Orleans.
Oh, I was thinking Atlanta too.
Atlanta, third choice. But I'm going to say Birmingham, New Orleans, Atlanta. Yeah. One of those three.
Just the apartment complex they were in looked like a high rise. So that's why I was thinking Atlanta maybe. But
Could be. Or Birmingham. Birmingham was my first choice.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Birmingham, New Orleans,
the South
Atlanta.
For show. It's got to be the South.
100%. But they got it out so quick. And people are like, well, it's not the most, it's not very well mastered. Come on. They threw this shit together as soon as the virus hit.
Right.
Proud of them. They're helping society. The shit's hilarious. Never gets old. I would have thought it would have got old. They have went viral. I wonder how many millions of views that shit has.
I don't know, but it's the best one because again, scrolling through TikTok, there's plenty of people that have done coronavirus songs. There's a couple people that have redone like some
Ice Baby, I've heard.
Or I heard a Disney song redone, and I forget which one, honestly. I heard Bohemian Rhapsody, which was kind of funny, but it's nowhere in the stratosphere.
Well, first off, you're biting off another song. These guys, original content.
Original song. You're right.
Song.
You're right.
This is brand new, original. They made it their own because it is their own.
Yeah. And Neil Diamond, same thing. That's his song. He can do whatever the fuck he wants with it. Can.
Which I just respect. I just love the fact that Neil Diamond actually did it.
He's a G. Cool. Love him.
But no, yes, you should find out their names. We'll put it in the notes. I'm going to reach out to them, try to get them to come on the show. They're superstars. I love them. I like the short, little, stocky guy that you're talking about.
With the red jumpsuit on, yes.
He did the same two moves.
That's why you remind me.
And I loved it.
And that's why you remind me of the guy that did the robot, because that was that guy's move. That's the only thing he did, but he would just bust out through the scene for no reason, doing the robot. But
in my head, he's the one rapping. Even though none of them are like lip syncing the song.
No, they're just grooving and spraying Lysol.
I picture him as being the guy that laid down the track.
He looks like he could be the mastermind, potentially the owner of that.
Plus the red suit, he was sticking out. Tall guy couldn't help but stick out. And tallest, skinniest guy on earth, and can move.
And he did a front flip off of like a little step, like 7 ledge.
7 foot tall,
so tall.
Anyway, if you haven't seen those guys, you're dead because you should have seen it.
Go to our Facebook page, our personal Facebook page, and we've shared it somewhere.
Yes,
in the past week or so. That's a good fun treasure hunt, scavenger hunt for you. And I'm sure we'll repost it and repost it and repost it.
But
And
it's
then-
exactly how everybody looks at people. Because I want to talk about how it's weird. Our trip to Home Depot and
Yeah.
then my trip today to Publix about, if you cough out in public, it's like the new N word. I've heard people say that. Like you get the looks of like, it's the new
Yes.
N word if you cough or sneeze. But so we were in Home Depot this past weekend getting flowers for the flower bed. And there's pollen everywhere in Georgia. It's terrible right now. Like the worst. It's the worst time that you could have like a respiratory illness and allergies.
Pandemic and allergies. Yeah.
And we were walking. It's funny because we didn't talk about it at the time, but both Brooke and I had to sneeze when we were walking through there.
At one point,
I was
yeah.
holding mine in like it was the world's biggest fart. And I did not, because for one, I sneeze very violently. Like,
It's bad. Yeah.
It is very
And if you have a
violent.
dip in, which usually when we're in a store, you do, that's just a whole nother
That
level.
could be a disaster. I've ruined computers before.
And the inside of my car.
That is why Brooke will not share a computer. She takes
Never.
them and claims them to be hers.
And I'm like, don't fucking touch this shit or ever work at it. Ever. Don't
'Cause
look
I have
at it.
sneezed and blown it all over my lap, and it's atrocious. Even I'm disappointed in myself when I've done it. I get mad at myself. I get depressed.
You should. You
I
should-
don't like fight anyone about it. Like I'm the most sad of the group when it happens.
But then you're like, oh, let me clean it. And then it's like, you suck.
It's everywhere though. It goes to like the other side of the house. It's like when you
Right.
spill ketchup or something, or like when John knocked that plate off and it was like across the room.
Or like one time, oh God, Shanna will be so excited. One time me and Shanna were so high when I was in high school and she was at my house. And for some reason we were in my bathroom trying to open a ranch dressing. Don't ask me why we were in my bathroom.
And you hate ranch.
This isn't high school. Who knows? And I was high as shit. Who knows? But it was like one of those fast food packets of ranch. And it like busted and exploded everywhere. And to this day, I guarantee you that house has ranch dressing on the ceiling because it was everywhere. We cleaned up as much as we could, but like a year later, I would see spots of ranch on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah.
And that house, whoever lives there
That shit goes
on Abilene
everywhere.
Court in Allen, Texas, there's ranch
Go
dressing
smell the ceiling.
on the ceiling in the bathroom upstairs. But yes, it does get everywhere. And
Well, I mean, I've got my beef with Chick-fil-A and their ketchup packets because you can't open it without spilling it. If you open it to dip into it,
right.
it's impossible. You're
Same
going to spill
thing.
it
It
every
was-
time. It pisses me off.
No, and it's like peel here. It's like, no, motherfucker. I'm just going to get this all over the person sitting in front of me because it's going to go. Pfft.
Yeah, every time. It's a disaster. But so today, I go into Publix and I'm in the hot dog section. And I know I'm going to sneeze. It's not one I can hold back. So for one, I look around like, oh shit, all right, not too many people around. I sneeze into my arm, like I do everything right, into my elbow.
Like a good boy.
I got looks of like, bitch,
You got
you better get out of
coronavirus.
here. If I see you in the parking lot,
Right.
it's going to be some shit.
I know.
Because there's like two old ladies in masks, one weird douche dude with like 3 layers of surgical gloves on. I could see like one was blue, one was black. It was insane.
Well, the
And
thing
so,
is,
of course, I sneezed in front of those
Of course
3.
you
They're the
did.
only 3 wearing shit. Everybody
Right.
else is pretty cool about shit. But Asgar's mom had just left. We had just been talking in
Yeah.
Publix. Like she turned the corner. I know she probably heard it.
uh-huh.
But yeah, those people wanted
But
to
we were
kill me.
talking outside with her earlier. She's like, she was talking about she has allergies this time of
I
year
know.
too. Obviously, like 90% of people when there's this much pollen, and it's just such. Oh, I saw a tweet that's somebody said the pollen count being this high this year, or pollen coming out this time of year during this pandemic is pretty fucked up. What, bitch? You can't read a room?
No shit. If I wouldn't have had my nose fixed, it would be a disaster.
Oh, my God.
I would be like, people would be like, dude, you're dying of coronavirus.
You wouldn't be able to go out of the house. I'd have to go to the stores because I would be worried for your safety.
Yeah, they'd be like, bitch, you got for real corona.
Ooh, bitch, you got
You're
corona.
not sir, we're going to have to ask you to leave, sir. You're clearly infected.
Oh my God.
But
yeah.
it's crazy times in here. But yeah, Kemp decided he didn't lock the state down. However, the city of Atlanta went ahead and knocked himself down today.
Well, and all all the counties and cities are all doing their own thing in Georgia, though. So if you look at like the
That's
channel,
how politics works. They pass the buck down, so they don't have to do it. Trump's like, states, handle your own shit.
And then
Governor's like, county leaders, handle your own shit.
Except for like a handful of states, like New York and Louisiana and
New York
California.
is about to die as a city.
Yeah.
They are the hot spot of. Everyone has corona,
and it's
which I think everyone probably does anyway. In the country, we've probably all got a piece of it.
We're all infected, like in The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been taking my temp every day, once a day.
I'm
good.
I've been checking mine every once in a while.
The politician said the only way anyone knows they're not infected is if they're taking their temperature every day, and nobody does that. And I said, bitch, I am doing it. And I'm talking about the lady that looks like Pennywise with the teeth that are fucked up that's on the task force. She's got a grill like Pennywise.
Oh, she does? I didn't see her teeth.
Let me show you.
Her and the other guy that were standing behind Mike Pence yesterday with the gray skin. Is that who you're talking about? The one that looked like she has real, like, looks like real sticky skin, like both of them, which I'm sure is just because they're working their fucking asses off. They're not sleeping. Then they're doing press conferences.
Scroll through her pictures. I took 3 of the TV.
Oh, God. Yeah. Ooh. We're all fine down here.
Yeah, she's got some groovy teeth. They are sharp.
These poor people, though. All of them.
Yeah,
even
don't be on the task force. Like, you can be on the task force, but you can't be one of the people that are on stage when you've got sharp teeth. It's fine. They look like daggers.
Yeah, she's definitely a carnivore.
And I feel bad for her. She's like the statistician of the task force. So when she comes up,
she was Dr. somebody.
Yeah, but her job is to like track and give data, just data. Fauci is the actual, little Jewish guy that is like the
poor guy that, like, for fuck's sake, give him a little step to stand on after Trump. He goes in because Trump's like 6 whatever.
Trump's a big guy.
Yeah, a very tall guy. But then like he has Fauci come up right after him, looking like a toddler, like. Hey, like on his tippy toes, trying to get to them. Like, give him a little, like,
and Trump like
retractable
pats him on the head.
Yes,
like, hey, little buddy, go ahead. It's all condescending as shit.
It's so bad because for one, he goes up there and always says something that completely contradicts what Trump says.
Because he's a scientist.
Because he's a scientist, and Trump knows that he's going to do that. But it's still like it's just
all that is planned by Trump. People that don't know Trump. He's all about that power move. He's taller and bigger than you. He's going to accentuate that always. Mm-hmm. It's not unplanned. However, I told Brooke I did see why Trump is so orange. Because the other days, earlier, maybe over the weekend, they did one of the press conferences, and he didn't have near as much makeup on. He wasn't near as orange. He was still orange, but not near as orange. And I could see why. He's got like varicose veins under his eyes that are atrocious to look at. Mm-hmm. So I guess that's the only color that they can cover the motherfuckers with.
His skin is like translucent, and then he's also in his 70s, so he's got all those veins popping out. I mean, I feel like there's got to be a shade less than burnt orange, but
I don't know. But you put him next to Pence, who looks like a dead man. You got the whitest of white, like ghost clear white Pence, and holier than thou Pence. Like
Pence, who looks like at any moment he's gonna pass out from like low blood sugar or something.
Low iron.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could easily be like the old grandpa vampire.
Yeah.
He's that white. But he did test negative for a coronavirus. He was exposed, him and his wife both supposedly. I still believe in the conspiracy theory. I think early on Trump had corona. So there was 2 or 3 days where he would refuse to take a test, and he looked like shit, and he sounded like shit for 2 or 3 days.
I mean, and maybe he did, and he just fought his way through it, and because he didn't have compromised health beforehand.
Giving us a little halfie on the
I see what you're doing. Well, technically, we were exposed to it. I told you.
Yeah, through 2 degrees of separation, yes.
2 degrees of separation, yes. Our niece's roommate, his mother tested positive, and through the chain of contact, he was in contact with her when she was symptomatic, then came home, was in contact with our niece, then she came out to dinner with all of us and hung out with all of us. But so far, so good. I think we're.
Yeah, that was nearly like 9 days ago or so.
It was on my birthday, so 10 over. So it was 11 days ago.
Yeah,
it was on the 14th, so 10 days ago.
yeah, we would have.
We would have shown some symptoms on that, and really the only one I was worried about is Susan.
Yeah, she's the immune compromised.
She's the immune compromised, and I mean Susan. And then for fuck's sake, you know how bad Casey would have felt if somehow she would have. You know?
Well, I mean, I did take her
Not like she would have
temperature
known.
here that night because she said, "Oh, I might have corona," and I took her temperature.
That's
with
right.
a
I went and
thermometer.
got the thermometer for
I
her.
went and got it.
No, I went and got.
No, I went and got it because they were talking about how can we get it. I asked you where it was, and then I went up and got it. And she took her temperature, and I washed it with alcohol afterwards, rubbing alcohol just because.
You had washed it with alcohol before.
Yes,
I went upstairs and got it and brought it, and she said, "This tastes funny."
Okay, maybe you're right.
Yeah.
I think
you think you're going to
are
voluntarily walk upstairs.
right. No, now that I think about it, you're probably right. I know I had washed it before, and I've washed it before. I put it in my mouth.
Yes.
It definitely tastes terrible.
Right. But
yeah, she was very cool. She was like most of us, below like 97.
Yeah, me and Gunnar have been ranging like in the 96 to 97 on that thermometer.
Cheers to having a thermometer.
Cheers.
Second shot's definitely better. It's still so hot.
It's so hot.
Cinnamon, it makes better breath smells delicious.
But it's like the flavor is so good, but like it's just the heat. Okay, no more of that because I'm like, no more. I'm not trying to be hung over tomorrow when I got to work and teach the kid.
I'm good with that.
Shit.
So yeah, that's our Corona stories. Other than that, I think people should chill out. But hey, I'm not going to tell you how to feel,
No, other than that, everybody just stay the fuck home so we can pretend like it's okay, I don't want to sound like that. So that we can actually flatten this fucking curve.
Well, and second of all, to piggyback on that, you're absolutely right. But it's not the end of the world if you're chilling at home with your family. Like people are like, I'm being murdered here. Like,
no,
shouldn't be that terrible. Sure, having your kid in your face all day is terrible. It's rough.
It's a lot.
When they're little. It's a lot. But it's not the worst thing in the world. There could be way worse shit. Like
you could also be
getting by.
You could be somebody that's one of these people that has to go to work every day and get yelled at for stupid reasons and be worried about contracting this.
Or like our boy Joey, have no place to go isolate.
Right.
So you got to go to the trailers of death by the government.
He actually said they were fine.
He did. Yeah, I think he loved them.
He said they were actually pretty fucking nice. But yes, I consider us very lucky. We are fine being quarantined. Like us, if it was just us, we would probably just be naked all day and be fine.
Yeah, we've definitely eaten like kings. We've kept the grocery count very well. But
yes.
Speaking of Joey, we did interview him on our Facebook page. He's one of the first Georgia cases.
He was the first in our county,
Waffle
one
House
of the
cook.
first in the whole state. Yeah.
Story's pretty interesting. We may attach it to this, maybe not. That's up to Brooke.
I shared it last night, so.
Okay, so we won't. Up your asses. Go to the Facebook page and check it out.
I shared it on our personal page, but we streamed it live on our podcast, our Married AF podcast Facebook page. And we were going to release it as a podcast along with the roundtable we had, but I wasn't able to like download the audio from Facebook for some reason. Like I would tell it to download and then it just wouldn't do anything. And so I said, fuck it. Okay. And I didn't want to have to deal with it too much. So it's out there if you want to go watch it and listen to it. It's good stuff. The interview with Joey was there was a lot of good information, a lot of things that he told us that you had own assumptions in your head that he completely
completely dispelled my controversies.
Yep. So that it's very good information, and
still don't know if the guy's negative though. No one checked
the part
that is the weirdest shit I've ever heard. We asked him, "So are you clear?" He's like, "I don't know." They said I'm cool, but they never tested me. I was like, "What?"
Right, because when this was going down with him, that's when tests were like super scarce.
And he's the only one out in the woods. Like, I think they were just like, we'll see. Go ahead, little buddy.
If that was today, like everything changes so much day to day. Then they were like, it's just a shit show. But they were like, yeah, you're probably fine. You haven't shown symptoms in X amount of days. Yeah, you're fine. But now they'd be like, we have to test you 4 times before you can leave, which is the safer way. But
well, and thanks to him being on our platform, he's now going to be on Dr. Oz. Thankfully, because of us.
Could have maybe been the Burt Show too, or
he did do the Burt Show before us. He did it the day before. I went ahead and let Tommy have the exclusive. You're welcome, Tommy, if you listen. I know you do. All the Burt Show.
I hope
folks,
they all do.
You're welcome.
But
gave you that
of
one.
course, we give them the exclusive.
Yeah, because we care about those guys. They launched our careers. This lucrative podcast career would not have been possible without the Burt Show.
This lucrative podcast career where we now officially 2 years later have made more than $0.00.
We've made money in a month instead of lose money.
Instead of constantly lose money.
Yes, it is worth it. So worth it.
But yeah, that's that. So that's it for real.
Yeah, Joey Camp, check him out. Supposedly, based on what I've seen on his Facebook page, though, Waffle House fired him.
Shut the fuck up. Nuh-uh.
Yeah, it sounds like they reopened. He worked one day and they canned him. Like,
for what?
I can only imagine that the customers were like, I don't want to eat with the Corona guy cooking my shit.
Joey, that sucks.
I get it. I hate it. But I can see that
It's been like a month. I
still see people coming in. Oh, that's the Corona guy. No thanks.
Because Waffle House, you're like right there.
Yeah.
Like, hey. But, poor Joey.
Because he's kind of like living in the limelight. He calls himself the Corona King. So he's like, oh, y'all bitches coming to see the Corona King. Oh, you don't want me to touch your food? What, I'm fired? It's fucked up.
Poor guy.
But
I'm sure, because he
it's
must.
terrible. I get it, but it is terrible.
Surely you'll find somewhere else. Walgreens, come on.
I don't know, man.
There's a Walgreens like right there on Marietta Highway
Tough
too.
out there for a Corona patient.
Nothing's open right now. That's the fucked up thing. Is that like
Except
you lose
Waffle
your
House.
job, right? But you lose your job in the middle of all this. You can't go. Well, no, you could go find a job stocking shelves at one of the grocery stores or Walmart or something because that's who's hiring right now.
They will still have the stigma of like, ooh, you're the Corona.
Just make him wear a fucking mask and gloves.
But that sucks if he's the only one. Like, it's just weird. It just shows that people
if I was him, I'd be like, fuck it. Because then, well, he's immune from catching it again, more than likely. But like, fuck it. He could be cussing them all out under that mask.
You know it's bad if Waffle House says, excuse me, sir, you're fired. You're unhygienic.
Right. When
they got people with teeth hanging out, no teeth, everywhere. But this guy who looks healthy.
Half-lit cigarettes, which they don't anymore, but back in the day,
they
used to have
them behind their
waitresses.
ears,
yeah, with like the ash hanging off, like when you go at like 2-3 in the morning after being at the bar.
Yep.
Back in the day, they'd have a cigarette hanging out their mouth, taking your order. Like, this ash is gonna. Can I get my hash browns 80-60 ashes, please?
Yeah. Y'all are gonna get. That's some old discriminatory shit, though.
Now, Georgia is a right to work state, which means they can fire you for not liking your eye color, basically.
Of course they can. But I'm just saying, it's fucked up, and I don't know. I love Joey, though. He came on our show, was great. Answered all of our questions.
So nice.
Totally cool dude. So
no, I'm on Team Joey, for sure. And I think probably Waffle House was just, like, backed into a corner.
No, I mean, if all your customers say, no thanks.
I mean, whatever, though. It's like...
I've got Corona now after that last shot.
Ooh, bitch, you got coronavirus. Oh, shit, you got coronavirus.
But, yeah, so where are we at on time?
I don't know. This fucking thing, this counter says 1,006.
So we're at 34 minutes.
Okay. 1,006 seconds, maybe? I don't know.
All right. So I'm going to pull a couple of these questions from what I've got, and then we can do murder tits if you want.
Sure.
Okay. I'm going to surmise this one. All right. So this is from a guy wanting to know. It says basically he was on Twitter. There was a thread about coronavirus that he was chiming in on. 3 of the accounts that replied to one of his comments looked to be risque accounts.
What? Oh, like the Yo Mama Suck My Balls?
Or naked bitches or dicks. And his wife found the thread, is mad at him. She won't shut up about it. She's checking his phone daily. She's been crying for the last 2 hours over some shitty fake woman accounts that he was not even paying attention to. She said to delete his Twitter, so he did. But she's still crying and will use this against him for the next month. It was
on his Twitter account. Okay, sweetie, I'm talking to his wife right now. Honey, Twitter
is another world.
Is the fucking Wild West. It's so world. Many porn stars.
So many dicks.
So many tits and dicks. And tits going into dicks. And tits going... I mean, it's...
rascally.
It's so bad. Like you got to trust your man. Trust me. I've had some talks with Uncle Randy over here about.
No, you've done what, and you're going exactly where I was going. Like the way to handle it is, there's been plenty of times where you and me, we share all of our shit, where you're like, okay, this one's weird. Keep my eye on this one. That's totally fair.
Right.
But you can't. I think if it was Instagram, Facebook, different worlds. Twitter is a fucked up place.
Twitter's a
don't ruin your marriage over Twitter.
Do not ever. I mean, like, just give your wife your fucking Twitter password.
Well, he said he did. He deleted it.
Oh, okay, yeah. But I mean, that's going to happen on Twitter, is what I'm saying.
Twitter's weird.
Literally, we've talked about it on our show where like we'll be scrolling through Twitter at work or giving blood or whatever, and all of a sudden there's huge cock banging somebody in the ass video on your feed, and you can't scroll past it fast enough before somebody sitting next to you sees it, and you're like,
yep, this is my life.
Cool. That was, you
can't fight over Twitter though.
Those are the moments I feel like I need one of those privacy screen protectors.
Sure, me too. Me too.
I'm like, every time I see somebody with those, I'm like, what the fuck you hiding? And
Twitter.
then when I'm scrolling through Twitter, just trying to innocently like disconnect my brain for a second, I'm like, oh God,
you can't do it around our kid.
No.
Like I've caught myself with like opening Twitter and being like, nope, gotta close it.
But you know what? These YouTube videos that he watches, I was going to tell you that today he had my phone. He picked up my phone and like went like this. And saw that, and he was like, Twitter, and he clicked on Twitter, and I was like, I grabbed my phone, and I was like,
that is absolutely why he cannot have our phones.
I was like, it makes me crazy that you know what Twitter is. He's like, Mommy, because I watch all the YouTube, and so like all the YouTube people he watches,
they have Twitter accounts.
They have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and I was like, holy balls, I need to fucking.
I won't give him my phone because for one, he can operate my phone better than me. He can get to everything, and he knows what they are. He can open them.
He's getting way too smart.
Very savvy with that shit. And you open Twitter, that's your fault. You never know what you're gonna get on your first feed, on your Twitter line or whatever, your Twitter wall. More than likely, you just need to bank on what's gonna open is gonna be inappropriate.
Tits and dicks and balls. And some people, I'm like, what is this profile picture? Oh God, don't open it.
They're terrible shots too. Like not shot.
It's like an asshole and balls.
Yeah,
like
not very classy. Like they're good and they're. I don't know. I mean,
the dirtier
you got to accept Twitter for what it is.
Yes,
in my opinion, my advice. So if he deleted it, cool. But to the wife, if it's any other medium, I get it. Twitter.
And he sounds like he was doing all the right things to me. I mean, like, because he didn't solicit that. No. He can't help.
So it was about coronavirus.
He can't help what people then try and bait him with.
Hijack a thread, which is what they'll do.
And trying to bait him, because I see fucking hooers trying to bait Randal all the time, not knowing that his wife also has access to that Twitter.
Oh, absolutely.
And so many times I have wanted to virtually cut a bitch and literally cut a bitch, but refrained and just talked to him and been like, if you fucking respond to that girl, we're going to have a problem. But it's all just, if you look at their shit, they're doing that to 1,000 dudes a
They're trying
day.
to find marks,
Yes.
Johns or whatever they're called.
Yes. Some of them actually seem like cool people. Like there's some girls that actually like are fans of Uncle Randy. And
they're fine.
Of course, I'm like, because they're, porn stars or whatever.
They fuck for a living.
Right. And have huge tits and big ass. And I'm like, it makes me a little crazy, but I trust my husband and
you have full access. So
and I have full access. So I'm constantly monitoring the DMs. And if any,
I would be such an idiot. If I'm dumb enough for that to happen, I would deserve what I get. I totally am okay with that.
Yeah, trust me. If he ever gave out his fucking phone number in a DM, it's on.
I would be dead.
You would never hear from Uncle Randy. It'd be a flat line from Uncle Randy.
Yep. That's all it would be. All right. Well, this one's funny. This one has to do with coronavirus. So that's what I'm bringing
I set my phone down. You didn't see what this said, did you?
No.
Okay, good.
All right. This is, hey guys, I called my husband a pussy the other day because he was unsupportive of my behavior towards some gathering teens in our state. We are a self-quarantine state. This afternoon, 5 kids were gathering on bikes across the street from my house. We're supposed to be inside and or 6 feet away from one another. Kids were neither masked or gloved. One boy spit a large loogie into the air. I watched it from my porch. I went outside and scolded them about their activities, parentheses, airborne particles, that could make some people sick. Shame on them. I told my husband, and instead of supporting me, he said, "Why did you do that? Now they know where we live." Frustrating and feeling attacked, I called him a big pussy. Marriage advice, was I in the wrong? It's a funny question and a great question. I'll let you go first.
I don't know. I mean, are you going to be going and licking your lawn?
Agree. I mean, all that to me, she's definitely overreacting.
Overreacting,
and they
for
were
sure.
past 6 feet. If they were in the neighbor's lawn.
Yeah.
According to her thing, she saw them in the neighbor's lawn.
Which, okay, again, are you or your neighbor going to be going around and licking your lawn? If it was something that was transmitted to dogs, don't believe China. China said it was transmitted to dogs. I don't know. I don't believe anything they say. Calm down about that. If they're transmitting it between each other, how do you know they're not family and they don't live in the same house? Did you say that? Sorry.
Yeah, I think you're a little too worried, ma'am. Is
right.
My thing. Like you're a little too deep. You're losing your shit, and I get it. Like a lot of people are. This shit is crushing them, which is weird because I'm normally one that this kind of shit would crush. It hasn't bothered me. I don't know why.
It's not crushing you because it's crushing everybody else. If it's
probably
that's the
probably I reverse psychologize myself.
When it wasn't crushing everybody else, you were freaking the fuck out. When I was still going to the office every day, you were telling me, when are they going to close your office? And I was like, they're not. Calm the fuck down. And you were like,
they did.
And you were like, they're ripping families apart.
I don't remember saying that.
You did.
Okay.
This was before we talked to Joey, and you were like, the guy that got sent to the camp from Cherokee County.
I do remember that.
They will separate families if one of us becomes positive, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, settle down, sir. And eventually it ramped up to, of course, they closed my office and we're all working from home and schools are closed and all that. But then as soon as that happened, you're on the side of everybody chill the fuck out.
Yeah, I don't know why that is. That's true.
Because you're just a contrarian.
Maybe that is. You're probably right. That is totally fair.
You're like, oh, y'all are all doing this. I'm going to do the opposite.
My advice for this lady, though, that's the absolute worst word you could call your husband. In all honesty, like the most demasculating word.
Yes, that was the next thing
you could possibly have said to him. Like, for one, you could have been like, you couldn't have my back, or come on, hey, regardless what you think, I'm your wife. Why don't you back me up?
Yeah.
Calling him a big old pussy,
no,
that's a bad choice. It's like a husband calling his wife a cunt or something.
That's exactly what it is. That's the exact comparison. What would you do if he called you a cunt? That's how he feels.
That is brutal. If a husband calls his wife a cunt, he should just start packing.
But if I called you a pussy for real, I know I've said it like for fun. before and been like, quit being a pussy about stupid shit.
Of course.
But
not questioning my manhood, which is what she was doing right there.
Not being hurtful and trying to be, because I mean, if we've
know
got
better, hell,
right.
Uncle Randy's no pussy. So, and I'd have went out there and kicked every one of their fucking asses for you and went to jail, honey.
Okay, thank you. Yes. But if we're ever like mad at each other, I'll just say like, fuck you.
Sure. There's a lot of words you could have used. I'm just saying bad word choice.
But no, I wouldn't try and actually deliberately try to hurt feelings or make you feel less of a man. Like, that's fucked up.
Part of him honestly was right. He was probably like, why are you going off on kids?
Which is why she got mad. I guarantee it. Because like if he was calling her out on why she was overreacting, that's because you know me. That's my immediate reaction sometimes too, is to be like, fuck off. And then later be like, ugh, I was being ridiculous. But
well, that's usually me that does that more often, where I'm the one that'll pop my lid and do something. I'll act on it where you won't. You'll get mad to just me, but you wouldn't go out and embarrass yourself. No. I would be the lady that went out and embarrassed myself, came inside, and instead of asking you to back me up, I'd have been like, I just made a terrible choice. I just went out there and embarrassed some children, and I feel like a
go
real
clean
asshole.
It up for me.
So you would never have to call me a pussy because I'd be like, I just
and then you'd
choice.
pout for a week because you hated yourself.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like this scenario wouldn't happen with us because I would have acknowledged it walking in.
However, that was harsh, and you should apologize. Who's the one that wrote in? Sorry, I've lost track.
The husband.
You're getting me drunk.
No, the wife wrote in.
If she wrote in,
is it wrong that her husband's mad? I think yes. You went too far.
He's not mad at you for what you did with the kids. That was ridiculous, and you overreacted. He's mad and upset now doubly because he was probably a little irritated with you that you went off on these teenagers or whatever in your yard because that's embarrassing. But then when you turned around and called him a pussy, like that's hurtful, and that just made it way worse. So just apologize and own up to the fact it's not
worth this fight.
It's not worth it.
This and the Twitter thing, these are two things. There's way better shit to fight about. Yeah. So to both of these listeners, neither one of these should be deal breakers.
No. And especially now.
Apologize and just be past it.
Yes. And at this time, when you got to be locked in the house with somebody.
For sure.
I don't know
apologize and get it over
just suck it up. Swallow your pride. Apologize.
Oh, he's hurt, though. You want to hurt a guy, call him a pussy. You want to hurt your husband, call him a pussy. That's the worst thing you could have possibly said besides calling him a little dick bastard.
But you know how you can apologize? Just go in there.
Pull your tits out.
Pull your tits out. Put your wiener in his mouth.
Put his wiener in your mouth.
That's what I said.
No, you said put your wiener in his mouth. Go back and listen. Put his wiener in your mouth. Yes,
you already did that.
She's off on that one. She did mean put his wiener in your mouth.
Thank you.
If you're putting your wiener in his mouth, then, I mean, cool. That's fine. But
no, but didn't she do that when she called him a pussy?
Yes. Man, this moonshine kicking in. I have done the deed. I've got my wife drunk. That's the way to do it.
Work tomorrow and teach our child kindergarten.
You're not like too bad. This is the perfect amount. We'll do one more shot.
No. I'm going to end up pregnant.
So this is the last one I'm going to do. We've actually got a few. People are definitely bored because they're sending in more questions.
Sweet. We got to do that video to another day for the thing that Tom sent us.
I'm trying to pick. Oh, yeah. Some of these are so long. Okay, we'll just go with this one. Since we're on this theme. All right, so is it okay? What was it? Hey, guys, is it okay for me to tell my wife that she needs to cut things off with an internet friend because the relationship weirds me the fuck out? So is it weird for the husband to tell the wife, hey, would you mind cutting off this internet friend? Y'all's relationship weirds me out.
It's only an internet
I guess purely
she met him on the internet and is...
Well, that's all the information we have.
Okay. So that should be zero problem. Because for one, again, it's happened here.
And it's an internet friend.
It's an internet friend.
If you stick up for your internet friend over your
exactly
sex partner,
over was it
fault.
wife or husband?
Wife.
So if the person that you have vowed till death do you part, you don't choose them over the person that you met on the internet and are having conversations with about God knows what and whatever. If it's gotten weird to where your husband is uncomfortable, then just cut it out.
Yeah. I mean, I would just...
You don't have to necessarily even stop communicating with them altogether. Just, you know, if it's too much, if the volume is too much. Because I've had this conversation with you.
Yeah, sure.
About certain people where all of a sudden I'll just be like, I don't like it. They're messaging you every single fucking day.
Yeah, you have.
And it's too much.
And that's
all it takes.
And I've never told you,
no,
fuck you, bitch.
Never.
I'm keeping them. Pack your shit.
We wouldn't be here. This would not be a thing
right now.
And
so much of this, by the way, she's talking about, a lot of that has come with the Uncle Randy thing. She
no,
does a great job of handling it.
This was before Uncle Randy, though, actually.
I have no idea. You can tell me later.
I'll tell you later. But this...
I don't remember. But either way, you always do a good job of bringing it up. I mean, every couple has had those on both sides where, and the best thing you can do is not keep that in. If it's, you don't have to go in, point a finger in their face and say, you motherfucker. You can just say, hey, that relationship kind of weirds me out.
Yeah. And even, I remember for some reason with this one that's in my head that I'll tell you after, I remember specifically, it was getting on my nerves, and I was sitting at the old house at that desk in our living room where I used to work, and you were like, what's wrong with you? Uh-huh. And it was just like, it, for some reason, was just bothering me real bad, and I turned around and I was like, I just don't like how much she messages you.
What? Give me the initials.
It had to do with...
Oh, the neck stuff.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I don't care, man. I mean, it's not like somebody I was talking inappropriately to.
No, but I don't want like Melissa.
Happened.
I don't want like Melissa to think it's her.
Totally.
It's not you, Melissa. I love you forever.
I know what you're saying. Yeah,
but it was just
that was more you on them. How much they were volume.
Yes, and it wasn't even like it wasn't, and it might be the same because she might be like, "What the fuck?" There's nothing in the content that seems inappropriate. It doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be.
Is my
You're
point.
Absolutely right.
Is that like there was nothing that this person was saying to Randal that was necessarily inappropriate or crossing the line. And she's a married person and she knows Randal's a married person. We have a fucking shared Facebook page. But it was more of, it just felt a little much.
And that's totally fair. That's a great point. And that's all I would say to this person is exactly that. If it strikes up enough. Now, if you're doing this to every friend that your person has and you're just being overly stupid jealous, that's one thing.
Then settle down.
But if something really bothers you to your core, that's how shit gets broken. Is that builds up that resentment. It's best to do like Brooke did. Just say, hey, you don't have to be a dick about it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with him telling her, hey, this bothers me. Now, it's all in the delivery like anything else. Like how you choose to air that. I mean, because he hasn't said anything inappropriate or he hasn't said that she said anything. But you just go and say, hey, this bothers me.
Exactly.
I love you.
That's all. That's where you have to come from is the position of this person message or this relationship or whatever bothers me.
I may not even know why. We've had that story. You're like, I don't even know why, but I'm just telling you.
Yeah. I think I said those exact words to you that it was, I didn't even understand because of what I said, where it's like the content of y'all's conversations wasn't even, there was nothing outside of like, it was, for some reason, it just didn't feel right with me. It made me feel weird.
that should always be trusted, in my opinion. And you should be free to say that without it getting to calling somebody a pussy or saying something you regret.
No.
And to me, there's nothing more like you can't trump your when a spouse says to you, "I don't know, I just don't like it." Like that oversees everything. Like that should. Because you can't come back from that. Like if your spouse says, this bothers me, it really bothers me. And all you can do is be like, you know what? I respect that. I got to do whatever I need to do.
Because in the general sense, for everybody, trust your gut instinct.
Sure.
Now, if your spouse is one of those people that like everything, you go to the grocery store and I don't like the way that checkout like they have problems. If it's every day, every encounter you have, that's a whole nother issue. But if it's like, you know, just something specific every once in a while, you know, Randall might say, I have those feelings a lot about things, but
no, I mean, the only thing I notice it with is with you, with Uncle Randy, your alert is always on, and that's fair.
It's been more with Uncle Randy. It
I
was
don't
like
mind
that.
I like it. I like I want you to care. I take it, to me, it's a compliment when you're like, hell no, those bitches. I'd enjoy that. It doesn't hurt my feelings at all. It actually makes me like, see, she still loves the Randy.
I mean, that's
because if you didn't give a shit,
yeah.
To me, that would be a thing. So I enjoy it.
That's why we're compatible, because I'm the same way. My feelings would be hurt if somebody was talking to me too much and you didn't get upset.
I agree 100,000%.
I'd be like, what the fuck? This person's all up in my shit.
I'd be like, dude, we share this page. I know you're seeing this and you don't even care. What the fuck
but nobody
is wrong?
talks to me. Everybody looks at one picture of Randall and they're like, I don't know that Brooke is a female.
Yeah. And so far, honestly,
I'm scared.
None, I don't want to set the wrong precedent. None of these people have been like inappropriate about Uncle Randy. Even like the porn stars, they're actually some of the more supportive, like sharing shit and stuff. But I love that my wife set the tone real early. Like, all right, okay, there's an influx of porn stars. I'm fine with that. But I'm watching. I'm totally cool with that. That's basically what you say. You're like, a lot of porn stars. Cool with it. But I got my eye on everybody.
Because I said, I'm fine with them promoting you and loving your content and all that. One of them bitches crosses the line. You hear me? You hear me, ladies?
Totally fair pool.
I know that they understand and feel my pain.
And honestly, I bet most are totally.
They're probably all on the same page. Because if they're in a relationship or have been in a relationship, they know.
Yeah.
They
Not
know.
one of them have been like, show me your dick.
No. And if any of them
people would die.
Are as smart as they seem, like they know that we share if any of them even listen to the podcast, they know we share a Facebook. Even though all the accounts.
Yeah, all the accounts. So it's not just, even if it says one of our names. I mean, hell, you've got access to everything. And I'm sure I could access yours, but you know all my passwords.
I was just going to say, the only accounts we don't share, like my personal Instagram account is the only one that like isn't a shared one. And I don't use it that much, honestly. Like,
and who cares?
But the only thing I use it for really is to like do just like family posts and stuff that I want to also share to our Facebook, but that I want like Griffin to see, because that's when I started using my personal one more because Griffin was only on Instagram, but now he has a Facebook too. Yeah, apparently, and
he's getting older, so he can actually absorb some of the content
right
more than he could 4 years
but
ago.
But you also, I could give you that if you wanted. You don't want more.
Need it. I don't. I won't remember. I can't remember. I ask you my passwords.
I
ask her my passwords all the fucking time. Y'all think it's some bullshit? That's the truth.
I have my passwords and Randall's passwords all saved in my phone somewhere. I have. How many Gmail accounts do I have on our computer? And I've got my personal, your personal, the podcast, Gunner's YouTube, because he has Gunner's Games TV at Gmail, and the network. So I've got 5.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And we've got on our Chrome browser, like on our laptop here, it's all 5 of them. It's like, which fucking one do you want to sign into, bitch?
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm not saying that's for everybody to do all the shared stuff, but for me, I like it. It just eliminates no issue for me. I love it.
Yeah. For this one question that I know we've gone off on a million tangents, just position it that it don't feel right. I don't like it.
Yeah. And these 3 questions tonight, I like, because all of them are questions that shouldn't blow anybody up. They shouldn't cause big fights.
No.
They're okay questions. They're legitimate questions to ask or issues, but they're all resolvable.
Right.
The pussy one's the hardest one just because you hurt his manhood, but you can fix that by putting your dick in his mouth. Like
your dick in his mouth.
Put your dick in his mouth.
His dick in your mouth. God, Moonshine. They all have a lot of high feelings, though. Like it's all like brewed feelings.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's all about how you handle those. Those, if handled tactfully, those are all correctable, is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
No major. We got more questions. We can ask them later. You want to go in to do the murder tits?
Okay, yeah, I'll make it quick.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
I'll make it quick because I felt like this one was
Poignant.
relevant and topical. So here we go. I'm basically just going to read you. Literally, I pulled up 3 different. Are you fucking kidding me?
It's
With
a
another
little 1/3 shot.
Uncle Randy trying to get me hammered over here to where I can't fucking read you this
Just a little
internet
something,
shit.
something.
All right.
Yeah, no more though.
Everybody's going to be like, Brooke sounds so drunk on this episode.
That's good.
Oh my God.
So fresh. So
I feel
so
like I'm
hot.
breathing fire now.
man, moonshine.
And I'm going to be
man,
holding my
fuck with-
phone like up to my face to try and read it. Because I usually put it on the computer, but y'all, I've been working and kindergarten teaching.
Teaching, working, no shit.
And
That's why I did the
keeping-
shout out to the moms with Uncle Randy.
I
Moms
know
are
why you
killing
did
it.
that because I've been fucking pulling my hair
Killing
out
it.
about. Yeah, it's been fun in some regard, but it's also been like I'm so tired at the end of the day. I thought this was going to be way different. All right, so all right, 1907. There's a guy that shows up at a Park Avenue brownstone. We've got a 37-year-old Mary Mallon who worked as a cook. Do you know? Does that sound familiar to you?
No.
Okay. He demanded a little bit of her blood, urine, and feces. And it didn't take long for this Mary to react to this suggestion. I mean, this is 1907. So a guy's coming up saying like, hey, bitch, give me your blood, urine, and feces. She's like, I'm sorry, what? She grabbed a carving fork and tried to stab him with it. And he's like, no, I'm a sanitary engineer investigating a typhoid outbreak at a house in Oyster Bay, Long Island, where Mallon used to work. So now you know where it is? What it is?
No.
Okay. So he believed that Mallon was a healthy carrier of the disease, which was a relatively new idea at the time, 1907. And so later he returned, and after evading authorities for 5 hours, it's not that long, she just like bounced into some alleys, I guess. Mallon was betrayed by a scrap of her dress. So she tried to hide like in a cabinet somewhere. And her dress it's like a cartoon. Her dress is like hanging out of the door. So she tested positive for typhoid bacteria. The Department of Health forcibly moved her to North Brother Island, which was a dot of an island off the East River, just off the Bronx. And it was a quarantine facility. She was released in 1910, and after swearing she would never cook professionally again, I just saw the light bulb go off.
3 years?
Yeah.
Damn.
But it's worse. She said, I'll never cook professionally again. It's fine. 5 years later, she was found working in a kitchen at a hospital where a typhoid outbreak was underway. So this, when was this? This article was from 2015, and it was 100 years since Typhoid Mary was apprehended for the second and final time. So 5 years ago was 100 years since then, but living the next 23 years, the rest of her life, under quarantine. So she was a carrier of typhoid bacteria.
Which couldn't be cured at the time, right?
Couldn't. She's a carrier. Not her fault. She didn't do anything maliciously. She spent, so those 3 years plus 23, which was the rest of her life, 26 years, also finishing her life in quarantine on an island because she was a carrier. Because, I mean, like, can you imagine doing that now?
No.
So obviously her legend grew immediately. Typhoid Mary is a term that's used to this day.
I've heard, it rings a bell now, the term Typhoid Mary. But
Yeah.
I've never heard this tale.
Yeah. So this is where it comes from. When somebody's like says you're a Typhoid Mary, it means like you're basically a carrier of something. Like I told you that people at my office call me a carrier. Mm-hmm. Like just because I always have like some type of cough because of whatever. They're assholes. But I've been called a typhoid Brooke before, and it's not warranted.
And
but
I've told people in our lives all the time, you have a cough that's like a tick. It's just like a tick.
It's also like
It's
because
the way you clear your throat. It's kind of just your little thing.
Yeah, it's more like anybody that gets a little bit of a something in their throat. Sometimes they'll let it chill, and they'll just let their voice be whatever, or they'll just clear their throat. For some reason, to me, it results in a cough. Mm-hmm. Just everybody suck it. So, newspaper, blah, blah, blah. An apron woman casually drops miniature. No. So they're making her sound like a fucking demon, basically, the press. The name Typhoid Mary stands for anyone who callously spreads disease or evil. So they're like, which kind of like they told her the first time. Like,
yeah, she did the second time.
She did. The second time was kind of fucked up. Like, they told her, like, you're a carrier of this fucking bacteria that we can't cure, so you can't cook anymore. But she went out and was like, fuck it. Mm-hmm. It's fine. Bitch got to make money. But then apparently the real story is more complicated, of course, as it always is. And by the time of her second imprisonment, she was not the only carrier. Like there were thousands across the country and hundreds in New York. And obviously to this day, being a carrier isn't unusual.
Well, like, New York is a hotbed because that's
clearly
Corona crazy. Like, yes. I mean, it's designed for absolute failure when it comes to a viral or bacterial spread. Right. It's the nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
Everyone has it.
It's just such close quarters and
everything.
Everywhere you go,
people are touching shit.
People everywhere. That's what's the creepiest shit for me. Like I told you yesterday, there was a shot of Times Square at like 2-3 in the afternoon, and there was like 4 people in Times Square, which weird. It's like the apocalypse. Like it's like 28 days later or whatever. But basically, that's it. I mean, there's more to that story, but that's really just what I wanted to.
No, that's great. That's very relatable to the times.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure you knew about it, but
no, I did not. I wonder if there's a Typhoid Mary rule for why they fired Joey Cook. If they said, "Hey, can't have a Typhoid Mary, buddy.
Can't have a Typhoid Joey.
Typhoid Joey.
A Rona Joey."
I bet that's it. Well, he calls himself the Corona King.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, he did say he's going on Dr. Oz, but they do not pay their guests, so it's free.
Most things.
Yeah, I know, but
neither do we.
No.
We don't get paid either.
Nope.
The hosts aren't paid, guys. We
never.
Already covered this.
No, we're making our first money ever on Eww Bit. So thank you.
And there's more. My favorite murder, Karen Kilgariff actually did a Typhoid Mary one episode, and there's a whole thing where like she was caring for some family, and it was like the kids got sick, that like everybody ended up dying from this because like there's a lot of people. She was linked to like 50 something deaths directly.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So she was it's just crazy that like the idea of being a carrier, which is not a uncommon thing, but that you have this shit, and that's why people are freaking out. That's the whole basis of this pandemic mentality is that right there. Is that like there's all these people going out there, like all these idiots out at St. Simon's and on the beaches in Florida that are probably just spreading this shit around that don't even have symptoms and never will and don't know it. But then other people are dying because they do get it. And so come on, people, everybody just fucking comply and for a couple weeks and then we can all go back to normal for fuck's sake. So
well, let's get out of here. Wrap it up. So thank you to Eww Bit. We're looking forward to that first check.
Yeah.
And we will keep mentioning you. Now you are back.
Now you're our BFFs.
We love Eww Bit. Everyone should.
We
have
love
one.
Clean butts. Married AF at checkout, 10% off.
Yep. And we will check you dick suckers later. Go fuck yourselves.
Okay, bye.
Good day.